my full recap and review on my 5-day Ibiza experience to help you prepare for your first time in Ibiza. I just went to Ibiza for the very first time and I spent 5 days and nights there and I learned so much. I spent so much. If you want to see the exact cost of my trip, then go back and watch how much I spent in Ibiza to help you prepare, set your budget for your first time to go. I'm just here to help you learn the do's and don'ts of Ibiza so you don't learn the hard way like myself, because there were some hard mistakes that I made. So let's get into it. I was in Ibiza in late August and I was there from a Tuesday through a Sunday, and I generally enjoyed those dates. It's a party. There's a party every single night. So even if you go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're gonna have something to do. Keep that in mind. And it may be a little bit cheaper hotel-wise if you go during the week than if you just go on the weekend. But there's a party every single night, so it really doesn't matter how many days or what days you go. There's always gonna be something to do. The part of the island that I stayed in was Playa de Embosa. I think that's how you say it. And I stayed at Hotel Garby. Such a beautiful, lovely hotel. It is on the pricier side. If you want to see a full tour of that to get an idea of what Hotel Garby is, then go ahead and watch that hotel tour because I loved it. And 10 out of 10, I do recommend it. It is also a 10-minute walk from Ushuaia and high transportation around Ibiza. We took taxis every day. They were expensive AF. The 10-minute ride from the airport to our hotel, 10-minute ride was $65. Our taxi to go from our hotel to Universe, which is 15 minutes away, $65. Ubers can be very expensive. I have a local friend that lives in Ibiza and she told me use the taxis as much as you can. Unfortunately, we didn't. So that's our fault. We could have saved money there. We kind of sucked up the price of the Ubers because there was 3 of us splitting them. But like, if you're the one who's paying for all the Ubers, like that shit's gonna add up. Try to use the taxis if you can. We didn't just because like I couldn't download the local taxi app. There weren't any taxis just like right out front of our hotels. When we were leaving the clubs, there are a bunch of taxis kept using Uber. So I guess that's our fault. So keep that in mind. The easiest way to get around is to either use a taxi or maybe even like rent a car, depending on how long you're gonna be there. But I'm never renting a car in a foreign country. The main reason of me going to Ibiza was to go to all the shows, the EDM shows, right? I wanted to go see artists. I wanted to go to see DJs. I didn't go to Ibiza just to go to random clubs. I went for the electronic dance music, the house, the techno, EDM, all of it. And of course, I wanted to be on the beach as well too, but Ibiza is DJ heaven. That's why I went. I went to 5 shows while I was there, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna break them down. The first show I went to was on Tuesday. I went to Anima and Damdala at Universe. That was the closing party for Anima, and I had such high hopes. I had such high hopes. That club is beautiful, but it was so crowded that night. It was crowded, it was unsafe, it was uncomfortable. There were just people everywhere. I have never been in such a crowded venue like that in my entire life. It was so bad, we didn't even stay until the end. And Damdala and Anima were going back to back. Like, that's how bad it was that we weren't even willing to stick it out and wait for them because I know that was gonna be an epic set. It was miserable. We were being bumped and pushed, stepped on, shoved, drinks spilled on the entire time we were there. I felt like my body was being hit a full 360 the entire time. I finally found some relief when I was able to like lean up against a bar, but then I was pressed up against the bar. Like at one point my ribs were being crushed into the bar. Unfortunately, that wasn't a good experience at all. I'm gonna talk about my experiences and at the very end I'm gonna give tips for how to maneuver these clubs. Wednesday, I went to Amnesia for Resistance, the Resistance residency, which is Artbat and Adam Bear, and that was a much better experience. We walked in, it wasn't crowded at all. We were able to get right to the front. So Artbat and Adam Bear are like 2 out of the 5 of my top artists, and so being able to be up close, I was on the rail. Like it was so easy just to be on the rail. There's so much space, like I could leave my spot and come back comfortably. It was fine. I really did enjoy my Amnesia experience. On Thursday, we went to High for Hugel and Miss Monique. It was supposed to be for Hugel. Never even thought to think to see Miss Monique because I just saw her at Sonas. We ended up watching Miss Monique pretty much the whole time because High was also awful. Again, overcrowded, oversold, just couldn't even get in. Hugo had a 3-hour set. We only watched 30 minutes of it because of how crowded and miserable it was. It was so miserable. Thankfully, that club is a 2-room club. Most of these places are. Like, a lot of these places do have multiple rooms with different artists, but this was the first club that had a different artist in another room that I actually wanted to see. So because Hugo was so awful, we went to Miss Monique. We also got hammered that night because it was so miserable. Like, we're like, what are we gonna do? We couldn't even see Hugo, and we just started drinking. So whatever. So I actually spent a shit ton of money the night of High on alcohol and water. Miss Monique saved the day, thankfully, but High was not it. And then Friday night was Calvin Harris at Ushuaia. I'm wearing my Ushuaia shirt, and that, oh my God, that was beautiful. Going in there, I knew I wanted to see an Ushuaia set, and it had to be Calvin Harris. Like, that to me is the full Ibiza experience. Like, Ushuaia is Ibiza, right? Like, you can go to all these clubs, right? All these famous Ibiza clubs, but once you're inside the club, like, you don't know that you're in there. Like, it feels like any other club. But when you are at Ushuaia, you are constantly reminded that you are at Ushuaia, and it feels like such a unique and beautiful experience. And Calvin's set was amazing. I'm one of the lucky ones. I had seen Calvin Harris multiple times in my life. Like, I saw him in 2023 in Hong Kong, and I hadn't seen him since like 2016. So that 2023 set in Hong Kong set the standard and like reminded me I love that man. And then I saw him at Ultra Miami 2024. Awful set, awful. The crowd, everything at Ultra was just, it was just a bad time. But this Ushuaia set, this is the number one. This is the Calvin Harris standard. And I don't know if I'm ever going to reach that level of euphoria ever again when it comes to Calvin Harris. Oh my God, that was phenomenal. Something about this that I want to mention is that if you don't want to pay for an Ushuaia ticket, you can go to the bar next to it. It's called Sky, I think, and it's directly in the Ushuaia Hotel. It's all the way at the top. You pay 20 euros to get in, or if you're buying an Ushuaia ticket, you can get a discounted drink ticket. I think it was like 16 euros. That's how you get in, and you can watch the show from up there. So just a little tip if you don't want to pay Ushuaia ticket prices. And then our last day in Ibiza, it was Saturday night, and we went back to Universe for Elro. I love Elro so much. This was a much different experience than the Anima and Dom Dollar show that took place on Tuesday. So I'm glad that I did get to see Universe again and in a whole different light. Now we're gonna get into the tips and tricks of these clubs, the do's and don'ts. I'd say if these clubs offer a VIP ticket, normally the VIP tickets are on the second levels, get one of those. You're gonna have a little bit more space. When I was in GA at these bottom levels, I would look up and see VIP generally had a little bit more space. You're gonna have a better view. So if these clubs offer a VIP section, I would say do that, just because these clubs get so damn crowded. When we were in Universe the first night, we asked if we could upgrade, and somebody told us it was going to be $1,000. We were like, no. If there's a VIP ticket, get it on the upper levels. Also, get there early. If there is somebody that you want to see, get your ass there early. Like, we were going like at 1 or 2 every night because these shows end at 6 a.m. We didn't get a good spot for Anima, Dom Dalla, barely got to see them. The same thing with Hugo. But when we went to Calvin Harris, like, that was our show that we wanted to see more than anything, so we weren't going to chance it. We got there when doors opened up at 5, and he went on at 9. Like, 5 is a little bit early. I say you can get to Ushuaia around 7, but we wanted to be able to pick our spot, because when I look back at videos or from up top from that bar, like, Ushuaia does get incredibly packed. Get there early to be able to pick your spot. If this is an artist that you truly want to see and experience in its entirety, get there early. And just be aware that these clubs can get really crowded and that they're oversold. Generally, like, the only one that I didn't feel that was super oversold was Amnesia. It also just might be the artists that go. Hugo at High could have been really, really crowded, but the next day, Black Coffee might have not been. I'm glad that I saw Universe one day and then I went back to Universe, because I saw a few things. One, they changed the entirety of these clubs. Like, look at how it was set up during Anima. It was tailored to him and his show. And then for Elro, it was a whole different thing. And it was a lot less crowded. So obviously these clubs depend on who's playing that night. So I'm sure I could have had one of the best nights in my life in High another time for a different artist. But for Hugo, it was just way too crowded. So keep that in mind. Like, I may have had a bad time at High, but it may be your favorite club in Ibiza just because you had a different experience. I think that these clubs operate differently just based on the artist, but overall, out of all the 5 shows that I saw, I'm gonna rank them. Calvin Harris, number 1 at Ushuaia, got there early, had the perfect view the entire time. The next one was Amnesia for Resistance, again, perfect view the entire time. 3, I would say Elro. That was so much fun. I love Elro. I'm glad I got to give Universe a second chance. And then 4, High, not for Hugo, but because of Miss Monique, she saved the day. And then 5 was Anima and Damdala. Anima's one of my favorite artists too, so it sucks that I didn't get to see and experience his set in its entirety at Universe or the back-to-back, but it is what it is. Now you know the do's and don'ts of the clubs. So outside of the clubs, the only other thing that I wanted to do there was just be beachside, just soak in full vacation mode. I wanted to be poolside. I didn't have any desire to be doing excursions or going around the island or doing anything like that, because the main reason for my trip was to go to the shows every night, and I needed my energy for that. The only other things that we did was be by the beach, be by the pool. We did one water activity. We did this little sofa thing where they pull you on a boat. So much fun. We did some shopping like locally around our area, went to go buy merch, things like that. And my main thing was just to rest. If you want to be doing other things outside of show, you're not gonna have the energy to do that, especially if you're leaving these clubs at 6 a.m., going to bed at 8 a.m. Like, you're not gonna want to get up and go on an excursion and then have to get ready at 5 and then go to dinner and then do it all over again. If you want time for excursions, also plan days that you're not going to clubs every night. Unless you're just a machine Energizer bunny that can do it all, I cannot. I knew that going into it, that I didn't have any desire. Like, during the day, I wanted to be fully immersed in my hotel, and that's what I did. So that's why I also picked a hotel that I kind of have like a luxurious feeling, that had plenty to do, that the food was delicious, because I would wake up and just go right downstairs to the pool or the beach. I wanted to be at my hotel. It was nice. I didn't feel like I had to leave because I had everything that I needed there. I didn't need to go experience a day club because my hotel felt like a day club. That was my vibe in choosing why I wanted to choose Hotel Garby. Full on relaxation mode during the day so I can rave all damn night. The food in Ibiza, one of my favorite things to talk about. I loved the food in Ibiza. We ate lunch at our hotel every day because it was delicious. Hotel Garby food, delicious. I ate octopus, I ate a goat cheese burger. We were eating tapas, like, it was good food. I would sit waterside every day, phenomenal. So we loved our food. Our hotel also did come with a breakfast buffet, and they also had a dinner buffet that you had to pay for. Dinner buffet was not it, but there were some affordable eats once you left the hotel. Like, we were eating kebabs late night, getting back, had a bit of pizza, had some Mexican. We did go to one really nice over-the-top bougie restaurant one night. Greek food is my favorite, and we found a lovely Greek restaurant called Amos, and it was a 15 out of 10 experience. If you hear my dad mowing the lawn, like, I've stopped this video so many times, I'm just gonna keep going with it. I loved the food in Ibiza. You don't have to spend $120 on dinner like I did. You can also have some for it. So it was a nice mix. Like, I did have a nice bougie dinner, but then I would also get the affordable eats like kebabs and pizzas. So it was a nice mix, but overall, I loved the food in Ibiza. And eat the seafood. If you are a seafood person, eat the seafood, because you are waterside. Like, that's the best time to eat the seafood. That octopus that I ate, phenomenal. What was the weather like in late August? The weather was great. It was warm. It wasn't too hot. It was sunny every day. The one time it did rain, I was sleeping because it was morning time, so that didn't impact me at all. But I loved the weather in late August. Like I said, not too hot, never got cold at any point in time. We were able to be outside in the pool and the beach every day. And at night it felt even better because the sun went down. I loved the weather. The crowd in Ibiza, what is it like? It is so diverse. You do have some younger people, early 20s, but then you also have adults of all ages. That is a beautiful thing. There is truly no age limit to raving or just doing things that you love. I saw older people, 50s, 60s, at these clubs, at these venues. So don't let anybody ever tell you that you're too old to be raving or too old to be partying in Ibiza. Because sometimes I see these TikToks, they're like, money will come back, but I'll never be 20 in Ibiza again. Well, girl, you don't, like, 20 isn't the cutoff for Ibiza. Shit, I'm glad I waited until I was 35 to come because I had money. Like, it is expensive. Like, I'm glad that I have adult money to pay for all of that now. Just a wide range age of people, and anybody can come. If you are older, don't let that stop you from not going. Like, go. It's fun. The outfits, what are people wearing? I saw so many girlies in sequined outfits, sequin skirts, sequin dresses, and cowboy boots. Like that's the number one thing I saw more than anything, the sequins and cowboy boots. I myself even wore a sequin dress one night. Other than that, dresses, skirts, crop tops, I didn't really pay any mind to what the men were wearing. I don't care. I'm here for the girlies, to let the girlies know what to wear. If you're going to these clubs, it's an electronic club. I will never wear heels to a show. I'm always gonna be in my boots. There's a time and a place for heels. I love heels, don't get me wrong, and I would wear my wedges every night to dinner, as a matter of fact. But if I'm going to see a DJ, you will never catch me in heels because I'm there to dance. If you're going to an electronic show, see a DJ, wear flats. You can wear your heels anywhere else in Ibiza, or if you're going to some other club, I don't know. I'm only talking to the ravers in this video. Like if you're going to a regular club or a hip hop club, maybe wear your heels. But if you're going to an electronic show, I think any raver would agree with me on this. You wear boots, you wear Converse, you wear some type of flat. Never like chanclas or open-toed shoes or anything like that, like closed-toed shoes. Especially in these clubs where you're gonna be stepped on all night. I wear my boots to the clubs every night, but I would get cute and wear my wedges to dinner and just different outfits. Like I had dinner outfits and then I had club outfits. So my dinner outfits were a little bit more like fun and flirty, light colored. And then my club outfits were like the darker colors. So that's what I was wearing. Dislikes of Ibiza. I didn't like how crowded these clubs get. It really did take away from some of my experiences. Like I didn't have a good time at Anima and Damdala. I didn't have a good time at Hugel. Like I had a good time at High, ended up because of Miss Monique and how drunk I got. Overselling and packing these clubs in is just, it's miserable and it takes away from the experience. So I don't like how oversold that they are. And sometimes like the crowd can be kind of like rowdy. It's a very mixed age crowd. So you just have a lot of people that just once they're like fucked up, they don't care who's around them. In Universe for Anima and Damdala, like there were people that were clearly fucked up and they were jumping. There's no room for that. Like, hello. So people that just don't care or don't lack any spatial or social awareness, like that sucked. But I'm sure you could find that honestly in any crowd, but I saw a lot of it just there, just people just not caring about who's around them. We're international people, so a lot of people don't speak English, so people aren't going to say excuse me as they're going through the crowd, so sometimes the crowd is going to be a little shitty. It was also a lot more expensive than I was anticipating, like the $65 Ubers for 10-minute rides, the $15 to $17 waters, like that's what it was coming out to. Whatever you think your budget is, like add money to it right now for your Ibiza trip. Save accordingly. The likes, what did I like about Ibiza? I really did like the beach, so I'm glad that I chose a hotel that was beachside because the water was lovely. Like I wanted this to be a mix of like a rave trip but also a vacation trip. That's why I wanted to be able to poolside, beachside every day. I really enjoyed my hotel. The water was phenomenal. The weather was great to be able to swim every day and then rave at night. I love that there's an EDM show every single night. Like it was hard to kind of pick our favorite shows to go to because there are so many to choose from. Every single club has a show every single night, and every night it's a different artist. Glad that there was plenty to choose from, and that's why we ended up staying 5 days because we couldn't narrow down the shows. So that's why we spent 5 days there. And I loved the food. I really did enjoy the food, being able to eat, you know, octopus, fresh seafood. Like it was great. But do I recommend Ibiza? Yes, of course I recommend it. Just prepare accordingly. Budget accordingly. Just know what the situation is with the shows, and just know that things can be very pricey. Whatever you think you're going to spend more than that. So just budget and plan accordingly. Arrive to the clubs on time or early if you want to get a good spot. Just be aware that the crowds can get a little bit rowdy, that it might be crowded, that you might feel uncomfortable, because in these really crowded clubs I was uncomfortable. But that didn't take away from my overall Ibiza experience. I truly loved Ibiza. I'm glad I spent 5 days there. I'm glad I balled out. I'm glad I went all the way and ate all the food that I wanted, bought all the things that I wanted, went to all the shows that I wanted, because I'm not going back. As much as I loved it, I don't need to return. One and done. My pursuit of dancing across the globe, one festival, one country at a time, will continue. And if you want to see all of my Ibiza experiences play out, then go ahead and watch my vlog, because everything that I talked about here in this video, you will get to see through that vlog, because I vlogged all 5 days of it. The food, the hotel, the clubs, everything. So go ahead and watch that video for the full experience. And thank you guys for watching. And if you don't know, if this is your first time here, my name is Alicia, but I go by Electric Ollie. And I love to dance across the globe one festival at a time. I'm the traveling raver. So if this is your first time here, thumbs up, subscribe. Oh, the next videos you want to know, I'll tell you right now. The next video I'm going to Breakaway in North Carolina. I've never been in North Carolina, so I've never been to Breakaway, and this is going to be a full experience with another series of videos as well. So you want to stick around for that.